And senior journalist Shekhar Iyer joins us from New Delhi to understand this poll verdict better. Welcome, Shekhar ji, to DD India. If you were to sum up the key takeaways from the Bihar election results, both for the NDA and the Mahagathbandhan, what would they be?
Well, this is one election where a trust in the leadership of Nitish Kumar and Prime Minister Modi was an overwhelming factor, which saw people reposing once again faith in this NDA alliance. And it was also a positive vote, a vote that saw, I would say, pro-incumbency in a sense, because on the basis of the changes that Bihar has seen since Nitish Kumar became Chief Minister in 2005 as a leader of the NDA. And since then, with the kind of support the Bihar has received from the center under the Prime Minister Narendra Modi, people felt that their future was more secured by NDA continuing in government, and they get benefits of good governance.
What role would you say women voters played in the Bihar elections?
I think they were great changes, I would say, because in the sense, for a long time, they have been the backers of Nitish Kumar, be it on the issue of prohibition or other measures to empower women. During the course of this election campaign, we saw many journalists traveling to those villages to see the women who were beneficiaries of getting a bicycle when they were in school, and to see how their lives had changed in the last 20 years. And similarly, constantly working to improve the lot of women, empowering them, and also ensuring by, for instance, the impact of prohibition. Of course, there has been debate in Bihar about whether the prohibition has done good for Bihar, but definitely in terms of women empowerment and domestic harmony, which was a very big consideration for women who wanted that the government of Nitish Kumar should continue, because they have seen for themselves how they have been empowered by one scheme or the other, and that played a very big role. And they were not willing to experiment with anything. No, the big question that's coming is, all parties make promises. All parties say, we'll do this, we'll do that. But people of Bihar, cutting across caste lines, they felt they would rather go by their experience of Nitish Kumar's government, which is a BJP, NDA, JDU, which is a BJP alliance. And therefore, they were in no mood to believe all other promises or the kind of things that were being promised by the Tejasvi Yadav-led Mahagathbandhan. And for the simple reason, they felt, ultimately it is a question of delivery. And that is a last mile delivery. And Nitish Kumar government had proven over, I would say 2 decades, that what it means delivering on the ground, what it means ensuring that the beneficiaries of the scheme actually get the full benefit of what the government had proposed to do. Therefore, they were not willing to experiment anything. And memories of the pre-Nitish Kumar era, the memories which belonging to a period when Lalu and Rabdi regime ran for 16 years, that they didn't want to, at no cost they wanted it back. And they were not willing to accept Tejasvi Yadav, as an alternative to Nitish Kumar. Okay,
the RJD, yes, has got a terrible drubbing. Why this, unexpected bad performance, and what are the lessons here for the RJD, especially as regards its social base, and for Tejasvi Prasad Yadav?
See, one of the successes for NDA is not just a political alliance. NDA is also a social alliance. And similarly, your Rashtriya Janata Dal also represented a kind of alliance which was often called the MY factor. And that MY factor saw some parties aligning with RJD, and that included the Congress as well as the left. But then there were no new factor to add into that alliance. No in terms of social expansion. On the other hand, see, the NDA alliance was, in terms of social combination, it consisted of the non-Yadav OBCs, extreme backward classes, the Dalits, Mahadalits, and also non-OBC classes, which the BJP brought to the basket. So in terms of coalitions, in terms of social coalition, NDA was more broad-based. Whereas Mahagathbandhan, what you saw was there were no new additions which could expand that kind of social base. Therefore, in terms of social alliances also, you saw that Mahagathbandhan could not match what NDA was already there, because NDA was seen as more broadly representational of the society, so more seen as a combination that could address the grievances of the people as it has done all along. Yes, Bihar is crying for development. There are more things to be done for the people. People have a high expectation, but they also realize which is the leadership that can deliver. And in their view, it is Nitish Kumar.
Okay, political strategist Prashant Kishore's party has drawn a blank in the elections. What did he not see? And what would you say his party's zero score means for his political future?
Well, Prashant Kishore people thought he would bring, some kind of a fresh air to the whole narrative in the election, and which he did to some extent by talking about the problems. But when it came to solutions, when it came to solving the problem, why Bihar doesn't attract investment, why there is a perpetual problem of migrant labor, these questions, and then he made a blunder of, I would call one of the biggest blunders. He promised to lift the prohibition, saying that would generate revenue. So, moment you say you want to lift prohibition, you are straight away categorizing the women class, because they have seen how they have suffered when alcoholism was rampant in Bihar, and how it was a problem for their running their homes, the kind of havoc it created, because men would be addicted. The problem of addiction and dealing with that. So therefore, for them it was a very big issue. And of course, people do say that issues of prohibition, how it is implemented, the problems of illicit liquor, and loss of revenue to the government. So Prashant Kishore's problem was, yes, he had a lot of new ideas. He could, get traction among young people who also, but then the same thing was, the same problem which, just as they did not see Tejasvi as a alternative to the NDA alliance, similarly, Prashant Kishore also, I think, was not seen or a formation or a party that was not yet ready to occupy that alternative space.
Okay, to sum up, what do the result of the Bihar election say about the Bihar voter? What is he or she looking for in a party and a candidate when he casts his vote?
Well, I think apart from the fact that, everybody says caste plays a big role in Bihar, apart from all that, I think the average Bihar voter is looking at delivery. He is looking at what will get delivered at his doorstep, his or her doorstep. That's a big thing. And the average Bihar voter also realizes that he will not be swayed by promises. He will rather go by the past performance. He will also go by what is the final delivery. He will also go by what is the scale of implementation. And above all, he is looking for a leadership that can be trusted. And this combination, repeatedly we have seen during the political campaign, the talk of a double sarkar. Bihar is a clear case where double sarkar has been embraced by a majority of voters.
Okay, thank you very much, Shekhar Iyer for explaining to us this mandate for development, this mandate for good governance and social justice in Bihar. Well, it's a historic sweep for the NDA. They are nearing and echoing the verdict of the 2010 Bihar elections. We leave it here. Thank you very much for being with us.